It's a landmark judgment by the Supreme Court. Novartis has lost the patents battle. Let's cut across and listen in to Novartis on this case. It has been a big win in the fight for cheaper medicine, fight to battle cancer. The Supreme Court rejected the plea of Swiss pharma giant Novartis for getting its blood cancer drug Glivec patented in India, and this means that this cancer drug will now continue to remain cheap. A win at the Supreme Court would have meant that Novartis would have had a monopoly over this drug for the next 20 years. This is a win for Indian pharmaceutical firms. It means that the apex court has also rejected Novartis's plea to restrain them from manufacturing the generic cancer drugs. The verdict will now reduce the abuse of patent rights. There will now be a clean definition, a clear definition of patented medicine, and more importantly, patents will be given only for genuine inventions. Novartis was denied patent of the drug in 2006. India's stand was that the drug wasn't new, but an altered version of a drug already in the market for the past decade and a half.
Say that. I cannot say that. It's too early to say that. But it's up to the other countries and the situation which wants it. We have to read judgment fully. It's a 112-page judgment. I haven't read it fully myself, but we will certainly check with our lawyers. We cannot make any comment on that. Well, this is not specified, and I think we'll have to see what it is. But we will obviously follow the honorable judgment of Supreme Court to the fullest. So, India is a developing country. At one hand, we are in the top 4 BRICS country. And so we need to encourage innovation. We need to make sure that the environment and ecosystem which is appropriate exists. And clearly, as I mentioned from examples given earlier, it's not very encouraging and certainly shows that the ecosystem to encourage innovation does not exist here in India. It's going to be soon almost a decade when the patent law was passed. And we still don't have a patent on the ground in India effectively. We although had a letdown period of 10 years before that, from 95 to 2005, and now we're in 2013. So it's going to be almost 20 years. And that was really the period given to LDCs, if you recollect, to implement patents. And surely we don't want to go down that road. No, there's no such thing that we're planning to do. It is one of the most innovative molecules, and as I said, it's changed the way cancer research will be forever done in the future. It was really a breakthrough molecule. And today you have CML patients who've been on this for more than 17 years, running a normal life. So you don't have access to the product on the ground, but most of the pharma lawyers really for marketing capacity. And that is whether or not people on the income question criteria on the basis of which feasibility of single cases can be decided. Any thought on that? Well, honestly, I haven't read it fully myself, but clearly this judgment will be read thoroughly, dissected thoroughly, and would have set some precedents. Finally, it's a Supreme Court judgment. Are you looking sideline of No, we are not making any comment on that at the moment.
So Novartis MD Ranjit Sahani, they're saying not just Novartis, no big pharma firm would want to invest in India. He stands by their plea that this is a breakthrough. This was a breakthrough research in cancer treatment. They will read and dissect the Supreme Court judgment thoroughly. There are a lot of voices that are coming in from across the country on healthcare for masses versus R&D cost compensation for these big international pharma firms. They've invested billions of dollars in research. How can they be compensated versus healthcare for masses? So how can this balancing act be done? Let's bring in a lot of voices that are coming in from across the country on this Supreme Court landmark judgment.
Yeah, now these expensive drugs which are being marketed by multinational companies, now already they are available, but now Indian companies, they will be able to market that with more authentication. And cheaper drugs will be available to poor patients, not only in India, but other poor countries like African countries. Multinational companies were trying to block it, but that implication is there for multinational companies as well, because their incentive to do the research and develop new drug will go down. So there should be some provision so that these companies will continue to get some sort of royalty from the drugs they have invented and now made available to poor patients.
I think this is a really great news for us, and this was a landmark judgment, because on the basis of this, several other patent drugs would be judged whether evergreening would be permitted or not permitted. By rejecting the opposition to 3D, the Supreme Court has done a real great job and in making the anti-cancer drugs affordable for the poor cancer patients. Our fight, which was over a decade long, in this period we have given, since the drug has been available, that the Glivec is available at generic price, we have given to over 5,000 people Glivec generic free, which means saving lives of 5,000 people from one drug alone.